We're just about to walk onto, and we're standing outside lot 3, number 115, Freeman's Road, Beechmont. This road, we'll just pan around, you'll see views of the coast, which is the other side of the road. Should be able to see through there to the high rises down the coast. The road climbs up basically a ridge, and the properties on each side of the road fall away from the road. This is over the road. Now we'll just pan around. Here are some of the fig trees, and that's shown on the plan. And we'll see the views out over Beechmont and O'Reilly's in a moment. But the road the batter of the road just drops away. Here's the gate entrance, which is a little bit, took us a few minutes to find it because there was no clear numbers, corner pegs, and we'll just walk into the property here. We'll walk first of all across. This is an old property, and I think there was a house here a long time ago. There's evidence of an old fence. But this access track is reasonably old, which will be used for part of the new driveway. There's a cut there showing some of the clay soil. But again, this is an old form road, and it slopes into the toe of the cut, which is good. Here are some of the trees. These are strangler figs, which have taken over the original host tree. There's some probably not a botanist, but they're arborists. They're probably Norfolk pines, and we walk down the track here, and we're now approaching the area where the house is, which will just basically be in through there. We'll talk more about that in a moment. There's an old white picket fence here. This leads me to believe that just down the slope there, at one stage there was an older house, and this is an access. There's the spoils from the borehole. That's borehole number 1 in the drilling which we had done on the site, and we just wander through here. Follow the wheel tracks. There's some old straw bales there. Okay, oh no, that would have been borehole 2. I think he's borehole 1 over here. I haven't walked in this. So the boreholes have been done on this level area here where most of the new development will be. That looks like a wooden gangplank or wooden walkway which is in disuse, which comes down probably from another property. When we're obviously looking at part of another property which is going to be subdivided. There's the timber boardwalk. These are pretty substantial looking figs. So we'll walk around again. We'll walk back the way we came, and then we'll move down the slope and have a look what's down there. You can see that it's pretty overgrown. Would have been nice if some of this grass had been cut, but there's still in there. On the steeper, this road I'm on is cut and filled, so there's about 700 cut on me left as I walk, which is close to the road, and about 700 filled to the right. These trees here, you look at the base of them, there's the pole. They're clearly not vertical, and this one's at a slightly different angle. That indicates to me that we've probably had some soil creep of some sort on the slope. I'm not sure where that gate goes, but I'm not walking through there. We can walk down here, which will be down there where the lower bit of the house is, and just down here in a moment we'll get a view out what they'll be looking at over Beechmont and O'Reilly's, which is the Leamington National Parks there. And on the horizon, see if I can zoom in on it, we should be able to see in there, I think that's Mount Lindsay. That looks like the tiered Christmas cake, and right on the horizon over there, there's Mount Lindsay. To the right of it should be Mount Barney, but that's only of academic interest. We go back and we look down the slope here. This slope starts to steepen beyond where the house is going, and there's nothing much in here exciting us at the moment because it's all just overgrown vegetation and regrowth, which is, that's what's likely known as tobacco trees, is that stuff there in the foreground. And we look down here and we can see the slope dropping away, and now it's become steeper, and it's still walkable as we go down here. And we look across, but down here there's no indicators for slope stability except experience, and this slope has got steeper. We look into here. These big trees, whatever they are, they definitely look like if they're anchoring himself to the hill, and there's some creep occurred during their lifestyle. If I get over to the base of them, I'm not sure whether that'll help much. The bases, I can see the base in there, you may not be able to, but the bases are definitely asymmetrical, which is an adaptation. And I would say we're looking, and again, the angles, there's one in, I'll try and get into the shade because the sun's flaring the shot. In here we've got some basaltic boulders because we are up into the basalts. You should be able to see the asymmetrical base on him. And there's almost an asymmetrical base on that one. There is about 600 to 800 in diameter. But when you stand back and look, which I tried to do, both trees are not at the same angle. They're growing at slightly different angles. We'll just walk out of here and just looking across, that'll give you some idea of the toe of this slope. But I think that's about all for now. It's not worth going further down the hill because it only gets steeper and we don't know how far the property goes. But there's one more last look at the view if you like.